times you post, how many content you post, how much ads you run. There's a formula to that, but each brand and each identity is going to be different. A brand can come to me and I'll tell them, hey, your pieces are good, but your website's completely trash and your short form content isn't enough to where you can reach a new audience, right? It's really different for everybody, but the how to start a clothing brand question is probably one of the most I get. And I'm about to have this drop come up, right? We're estimated to do probably 6 figures the first weekend. I'm about to take 30, 40 grand out of that off rip and just buy more inventory of my best sellers and the best sizes. Smart. And for another collection. It's always better to spend that $1,000 to potentially make 4, 5, 6 than have it saved in your account.
Man, look, we got my boy, my dog, my brother, Caprice, man. We in the back of the back, bro. So look, somebody your age right now, tell them how old you are real quick.
19.
So 19, 3 whips,
yep.
Chains going crazy,
right.
YouTube going crazy, influence for sure going crazy. How can you remain like in the middle and grateful for everything that you got, being in this space and really like just elevating at a higher pace and faster pace than most people?
So it's really like when it comes to business, people will maybe look at me and look at my situation and think, oh, he got it all figured out. Oh, he's good, da-da-da. But me, it's like, oh, I still got family that I got to get on, or I still got other family that's maybe on Section 8 back in Vegas or something like that. So I'm still grinding because I can talk about the 2s or 3s meals I'm done, but you feel me? I'm still trying to get to the 10s or 15s or 20, and really it's like more money, more problems. You feel me? So it's like the hustle never stops, and really a lot of this for me isn't even about the money, but like end of last year, I kind of just let it go money-wise, and I stopped worrying about money, and I realized that God's had money flowing more easier for me when I stopped worrying about it. So really it's just the passion of everything that I'm doing. Like I'm doing events that I want to go do. I'm doing tours that I want to go do, inspiring the youth. You know what I'm saying? I'm dropping the clothes that I have in my mind that I want to design. So it's real easy to stay disciplined just because, yeah, I'm doing great for myself, but it's not like I'm far from reality or too gone. I know that the average American is still barely making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year right now. You know what I mean? So I know this isn't like a normal thing. So it keeps me real grounded, you know?
I love it, bro. I got a chance to really sit down and connect with your mom and, you know, really be able to understand you a little bit more. Also understand her. But I think one of the most important things is like the environment that we grew up in. So how important was it having that mom and that village around you to be able to build yourself up into the individual and entrepreneur you are right now?
Coming up, it was a good mixture. My parents always used to tell me that like I had the best of both worlds. My dad, he was kind of more like, he was always a business dude, but he was more of a street dude, hustler type dude, you know what I'm saying? And I was staying with him, but my mom, she was more of an entrepreneur, selling cars and everything like that. So it would be like, here I'm with my mom, I'm learning, boom, 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 I'm learning. She putting me on a credit card, so that by the time I'm 18, I got a good credit score. And then I go to my dad's house and I'm learning street smarts. I'm learning how to move, make sure nobody following you to the crib, make sure, you know what I'm saying, da-da-da-da. So it's really, I feel like I just got the best of both worlds when it came to that. And then also, really just them believing in me is really like, if I tell her that I'm gonna do something, she kind of knows that I know what I want best for myself. So they'll believe in what I got going on. And that is the biggest difference. You know what I mean? Some people out here, they may have dreams, they may have hopes, and it's not even them that don't believe in it. It might be their situation that's gonna try to keep them in a bubble. And if you let your situation keep you in a bubble, then you'll be in that bubble forever. So
that's a bar. I think one of the things I be trying to tell people, bro, is like, especially at that young age, you gotta find like that medium ground. You know, when you do your first 100K, 200K, like, you know, by 20, 21, I was already 250K liquid. And, you know, kind of hearing you 19 doing the same things at a higher level, I just admire the fact that you always stay grounded. Like there was never a time where I came around you and I'm like, oh, I don't know, he not being himself. You know what I'm saying? Even though we may not be the closest people ever, but you know, I always try to look out for you in the best way that I can. So I think that your mom has definitely like getting a chance to talk to her and then seeing who you are, it makes a lot of sense. So let me ask you this then, because you got a lot of the young folks on lock. What questions do you feel like you get most? And if you could articulate the answer the way you want to, because I know you got a lot of influence on the YouTube and on TikTok and everything. So like there's questions you probably get often that you don't sometimes get a chance to really answer the way you want to answer it.
Basically, one question I get a lot of the time is people will DM me on Instagram and be like, yo, bro, I want to start a brand. I have no idea where to go, da-da-da. If you're DMing me trying to learn how to start, you're in the right place, but you're also in the wrong place, because you shouldn't be DMing big influencers trying to get answers to questions. You should be going and getting those questions answered. For instance, if people are asking me how to start a brand, it's as simple as finding your first manufacturer, starting your page, starting your Shopify, and starting to get your first sample and then promoting. You know what I mean? So that's kind of one of the most questions I get. The thing that is different about clothing stuff is every single person is a unique experience. Like, yes, there's a formula that you can replicate, like at times you post, how many content you post, how much ads you run. There's a formula to that, but each brand and each identity is going to be different. A A brand can come to me and I'll tell them, hey, your pieces are good, but your website's completely trash and your short form content isn't enough to where you can reach a new audience, right? It's really different for everybody, but the how to start a clothing brand question is probably one of the most I get. And the best answer is join the WAP. That's the best answer though.
Because the thing is, they watching this video, right? And somebody looking at this and you in the back of a Maybach and you're doing your thing at a very high level. How can I learn from you at the level of which where I can actually achieve what I want to achieve? So I guess my question to you for them is, what is the whole WAP about? What is the community about? How are you able to really influence people to really make decisions and take action on their dreams so they can get to where they want to get to?
Inside of the community is basically everything I've needed from my brand from start to finish and how to start one. And that goes from the weekly calls that I do. So every Wednesday, even if you're just in the regular community, every Wednesday you can pull up to a call and I'll be in there with all the people in there and I'll answer any questions, go over stuff, walk you through whatever, review on design, anything like that. So that helps a lot. But honestly, people underestimate the power of having 600, 700, 800 brand owners in one spot. So anything clothing brand related, instead of DMing me or posting on your story and mentioning me, you're better off just hopping up in there.
One of the most important tips I be telling a lot of brand owners is like figuring out other stuff to do with their money before they just start going buy jewelry and stuff like that. So obviously you got your drop, but what else are you doing with the money so that it can grow? So someone else who's making a little bit of money from their drops.
What I ended up doing is early on, I realized with my brand, I was like, okay, I'm doing drop X, Y, and Z. Or then everyone knows this feeling. You could do a drop, do 10,000 early on, and then you got 1,300 left in your account to the next drop. You know what I mean? So basically what I started doing early, this is when I was in high school. Like one, I invested a little bit of money into learning more about stocks, which I was just doing research about and everything. Now what I'm doing with my drops is actually, one, I'm still dumping them into the Robinhood to let that grow. And now I'm about to use the M1 like we were talking about. But aside from that is really back into the business, especially in the Black community. Like there's a culture of like kind of frugality / savings, you know what I mean? Because when you get it, you want to keep it. You don't want to let it go. You know how it feels to not have it, so you want to keep it, right? So I was on some shit where like I was trying to save. I've seen something that was like, basically you don't save your way to $1 million. Like I'm about to have this drop come up, right? We're estimated to do probably 6 figures the first weekend. I'm about to take 30, 40 grand out of that off rip and just buy more inventory of my best sellers and the best sizes and for another collection. It's always better to spend that $1,000 to potentially make 4, 5, 6 than have it saved in your account. But that goes for everything. It's better to spend that 10,000, 8 of it on inventory, 2 of it on influencer promotion or ads or something, and make that into a 40, 50. So really just compounding interest my money for real.
A lot of people don't ask this type of stuff on podcasts and stuff like that. So how is your mental personally as an individual balancing business, well, multiple businesses, dealing with multiple finances, dealing with a lot of different relationships, and still trying to operate things at a high level while still having time for yourself?
Mentally wise, I'm kind of just more locked in and more devoted than ever, because I'm in a weird situation because everyone's telling me like, oh, you did so good. And I'm like, bro, I fucking sold. I'm like, damn. I'm like, bro, I could have did this shit way better. I'm like, content wise, I got to knock out more content. You know what I'm saying? Clothes. I went to LA. I was out in LA for a couple months on end just with all the factories, learning more about shit. I'm like, bro, some of the shit I was dropping in the beginning was bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do better than that.
All right, so we're gonna lead into the last question, right? How is it now at the level that you at, age you at? How have you been dealing with women?
Okay. I was just talking about this the other day. The good thing is that like I'm not the type of guy I have to deal with women and lead with pocket first or money first. That's never. The good thing is, thankfully, mama blessed me. You know what I'm saying? You realize when you beat lust and when you beat all that shit that most of them really don't got too much to offer. So you really start valuing the ones that like you can have a good intellectual conversation with, or you can, you know what I'm saying? Even aside from the sexual stuff, you know? So
I want to leave it off with this, right? What is the last most important piece of advice that you can give to anybody that's watching this, regardless of age? What would that piece of advice be?
I just said this in this other interview, but I'm gonna say it one more time because I don't know if y'all know how true this is. If you have an idea in your head, right? God put that idea in your head for a reason. And if he put that idea in your head, if you don't act on it, after a certain amount of time, he gonna put it in somebody else's head. And until somebody acts on it, and they're gonna reap the benefits, right? You probably done seen a design out before that you already thought about that you never dropped. Guess what? He did it, now he profited on it. Oh, you probably had an idea to do X, Y, and Z, or you maybe were thinking, let me throw some money in Bitcoin because, you know what I'm saying? You always have an idea to do something, but the difference between people is who actually acts on it and who just leaves it a thought.
My grandfather told me this when I was coming up. The best ideas are in the graveyard with the people who never did anything with them. Do what you want with that. You know what I'm saying? We got back of the back talk with my boy Caprice. I appreciate you having me, bro. New whip. I'm proud of you, bro. And may God continue to bless you in all areas of life, bro.